one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approve the minutes for March 26th, 2018. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Approve the minutes for April 3rd.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, we have, sorry. I was going to go to text refunds, but public comment comes next. Any public comment? Okay. We have tax refunds, just for motor vehicle supplement, total of 3 refunds that total $77.83. I'm sorry. Thank you, Joanne. And a motor vehicle refund that totals $118.14 for a grand total of, that's wrong. The math is wrong. So, 7, 9, 8, 185.97. Yep. So for a total of 185.97. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Under new business, we have an opportunity to invest some of the funds that we have in the general fund. And there is a application here that I need to be able to sign, a resolution that we agreed to be able to take action to invest. So Barbara Bertrand, our finance director, is here, so she can give us the information on the CD investments. There's multiple banks and an array of investments that we can use. So Barbara, I'm going to let you give us that information.
Okay, the institution that would be dealing with is multi-bank, and what they do is they look over throughout the country and look for CDs at different rates with banks. The CDs that we would invest in would only be FDIC insured. We would not be going over the $250,000 for each CD. They can't be in the same bank, so there's a multitude of banks that we can look at. Right now, for our money market, we're getting 1.2%. I have some CDs for a year at 2%, 1.95%, and I think it's a loss not taking advantage of these rates that we could earn interest far more than what we're getting. So, and I've dealt with these people probably 13 years. We're another municipality that I work in. It's very smooth, very easy, and we keep it, like I said, under the FDIC rates. So we're fully insured, there's no loss. They're non-callable CDs, and we get the interest. And we can stack them 3 years, 18 months, 2 years, 1 year. That would be up to the treasurer. And she's already signed off on this. They require a resolution to go forward.
Do we need documentation on this?
Barbara has all the info.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in particular? I can give you state statute and multi-bank. These are other towns that are using them. And here's a listing of the available CDs.
Didn't have the info on Friday, so that's why Barbara's here to answer any questions that we might have.
Well, I'm not going to read through all of this. I already did.
Have a motion to approve the signing of the resolution for the CDs.
I'll make that motion. What was the amounts on those? I mean, you said it's $250 per.
Yeah, so they have to.
Per CD.
Per
So
CD.
what we have available, we wouldn't do any more than $1 million for the time being, and see how that works out and see what that does for us. But it would be stacked.
Are there fees?
Pardon me?
Fees associated with this?
No.
No.
The fees are gotten from the banks that take their service.
So it's a net interest rate. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Abstaining. Don't have enough information. Thank you, Robert, for bringing me that.
All right. The next thing is just for clarification for town meeting dates. The meeting that we have on April 3rd, approved to send to public hearing and town meeting resolutions. There will be a public hearing, just to make sure everyone saw the legal notice, on Wednesday at 6 o'clock at the firehouse, followed by a town meeting. And due to the cost that the Middletown Press wanted to charge us to print another legal notice to include the water ordinance, we can postpone that meeting, so that meeting will be noticed in Haddam News, and that meeting will be held Monday, April 23rd, also at the firehouse. We have a Board of Selectmen meeting that night, so the Selectmen meeting will be at 6. The public hearing will be at 6:30, and the town meeting will be at 7. So just for everyone to be aware of that. And then the next piece of business is, due to that, we had an ad that we needed to print for the Dublin Hill Bridge that the state required us to print. And because it's partially funded with state funds, they require a paper with a certain circulation. The Hartford Current is the paper that they wanted to put in. Just out of curiosity, I had Joanne Price, the Middletown Press, and the Hartford Current for the same ad. The Middletown Press wanted over $3,000 for the ad. The Middletown Press wanted Middletown Press wanted 32 something. Hartford Current wanted about $1,100. So the Board of Selectmen had the Middletown Press as our backup newspaper to print notices, thinking that that would be the cheaper paper to print in for legal notices. Obviously, it's much more feasible and cheaper to print in the Hartford Current, which has a larger circulation, which when you think about it does make sense. So I'm looking to make a motion to add the Hartford Current as a newspaper of record to be second in place, and move the Middletown Press to the third, basically due to the cost savings that would be available for legal notices. There are some projects and things that we need to do, and again, Haddam News does not have the circulation that we need to for certain state projects that we need to go out to bid for. The Hartford Current obviously does, so I need a motion to approve the Hartford Current as our additional newspaper.
Who's the first?
Haddam News is the
Haddam News is
first.
first.
Much less expensive to do in Haddam News.
Yeah.
The problem is, due to the timing of Haddam News, sometimes it doesn't allow us to be able to have the advance notice. I think it makes sense because every resident in town gets that paper. And again, we want people to be aware of the meetings. Sometimes, though, timing doesn't allow, and or in this case, circulation needs to dictate for us to be compliant. So if we, that's the reason why I think moving the Hartford Current in that second spot makes sense. And again, saving $2,200 on a not very large legal notice for a project for Dublin Hill Bridge is substantial. It's a substantial amount of money. So.
Okay, I think that motion is changed that to paper number 2.
Any other discussion?
Yes. I mentioned this before. I'm very concerned at the cost that we are spending putting the whole ordinance in the paper. This is unnecessary. It's the entire page of the Middletown Press. All you need is a little snippet and explaining what is going on. The dates, obviously, there's some legalese you need. Here are 2 examples, and you might want to talk to Laura Francis about this. This is Durham. This is a bunch of ordinances that's significantly shorter than this. And here's one from, I think, Guilford. These are examples I'll leave with you guys, with Joanne. You don't need this. We don't need to publish the whole ordinance for the water issue in Tylerville. It just needs a tiny little paragraph that costs $50. So that's fine if you want to set an additional paper of record. but I hope we won't see an entire ordinance which is multi-pages long, in Haddam News and the Harper Current and the Middletown Press going forward. I hope we use the appropriate synopsis of the resolution or ordinance.
All right, well, I think that the ordinance should be printed out so everyone can see what's involved in the ordinance, and I'm doing it under the instructions of the town attorney, so.
The town attorney on multiple occasions has shown that he doesn't quite understand municipal law. I really urge you, especially to talk to Laura Francis. I know you're friendly with her. This is a waste of the taxpayers' money to publish a whole entire ordinance. All you have to say is that a copy is in the at the town clerk's office. You also can mail it to people if they request it, and you can put it on the website. This is unnecessary.
I would like to be a parent in what we're doing and very open about it, as you have accused me many times of not being open. So this, I think, shows to you that we're letting the people know in town what's going on, and the ordinance is written for them to be able to read.
That's why you have a synopsis, so you can explain what you're doing.
It's fine, but I think, personally, I think it needs to be there, and I will take it up with the town attorney. I can appreciate the comment on saving money. I won't be taking the words of legal advice from other selectmen. I would be taking them from the attorney that's hired to represent the town, but so noted. Any other discussion? Something funny?
Yeah, I actually think it is humorous that you think that this is a good use of taxpayer money.
I think that it's something that's, if it's required, Melissa, it needs to be in, and I think that people in town need to see the ordinance and things that are happening in the government of the town.
They will see it. It's a very, very detailed paragraph, and it is not required.
I don't know how a synopsis of what it looks like to me. 8 lines can detail what is all broken out in the ordinance, but
It's the
again,
law.
that's your opinion.
It's the law. It's not my opinion, it's the law.
Again, it's detail that I think is important. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor of making the current paper of record, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.